What's going on, everybody? On the air with VA3EWV. On the air with VA3EWV AllStar EchoLink Net. Gonna get started here in 4 minutes. The chat is actually working tonight for the first time in like a month, so that's kind of cool. So when you come in, just say your just put it in chat, your call sign and stuff like that, and I'll try to keep an eye on it for everybody, and we'll go like that. Just gonna go get the logger started right now, the net logger. I missed you guys last week, but we're back. We're back in the shack, as they say. We're back in the shack. And we got NetLogger on, in case you're looking at that. And follow along with NetLogger. Let me see if I can share this. Share this. Gonna get it shared out, get started. We got a couple of people. Oh, you got to share the link. Got 1 minute though to get it sorted out. There we go. We go get the PGC repeater online, right click. This is Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor VA3EWV is the frequency in use. This is Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor is the frequency in use. Okay, nothing heard. We're going to be adding a repeater to the net. We are going to be bringing the net on in just right now.
Good evening. The time is 8 p.m.
Hello, everybody. The time is now 8 p.m. This is Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor, Ernest, St. Andrews, West Ontario, coming at you one time for the good time with our AllStar EchoLink Net. This is our AllStar EchoLink Net every Friday. It's been almost 2 years, and I've only missed one Friday because I was out of the country. Good to have everybody back. See quite a few call signs in there. We're going to get to everybody. We have IDX3F, Kilo Echo 9, Bravo Hotel Romeo, KG5, Foxtrot India, KB6, Juliet Foxtrot Lima, and VA3GIC. Before we get going, do we have any short time check-ins? Short time check-ins. Let's get you in the log right now. Also, I'm using NetLogger. NetLogger. If anybody's heard of that, it shows you who's on the net. Okay, let's take any short time check-ins before we get started with the net. Okay. Okay, with that being said, we're gonna get to rolling here. Thanks everybody for being out there. Uh, as usual, I'm always coming from one thing right into another. I was on a 5 Park Road. The band conditions were just not there. You know. Yeah, I won't get into that. Anyway, the topic of today: ham hoarders. Again, ham hoarders. What made me come up with that? I don't know. Have two handy talkies here in the shack that I do not use and probably will never use. So I'm like, why do I have this here? So when the next ham fest comes up, I'm just gonna put it on the table and give them away there. One is the DMR radio, that's a Bell thing that I've tried to program a million times, and it's just not worth trying to play around with it. So I'm gonna donate that to the club and see if they can get something off of it. But I will put a note on it saying, try to program at your own risk, right? So that's tonight's topic: ham hoarders. So you're gonna tell us tonight what you have in your shack that's probably older than you are. All right, let's see who was here first. 16 minutes on the clock. Kilo Golf 5 India. No, Kilo Golf 5 Foxtrot India. Come on in with your call sign QTH. How long you been a ham? And let it all hang out today. Are you a ham hoarder? Back over to you. Okay, Oscar might be at work tonight. Oscar may be at work. We'll pick him up again. The next person that was on the list there, with the second longest check-in, was our friend out of Temple Hills there, NX3F. NX3F, you're up to bat.
Hey, Dean Ernst and Annette for this NX3F. Alan, located in Temple Hills, Maryland. Been a ham since 1972. Okay, yeah, I've got one piece of equipment here that I won't part with, and I don't know why, but it's an old heat kit, hot water 24 HP. It's a dual band handheld that heat kit has made. And I don't know why I don't get rid of this thing. Oh boy. And I gotta also have a Kenwood TS2000 set up on brand new way back when they first came out. I guess what 10, 15 years after it's been out. And that's about it. Back to net control. VA3EWV-L.
NX3F, before I move along, how does my audio sound? I didn't get audio checked earlier today there, so I could be sounding like garbage. If I'm not copyable, make sure you all tell me. I mean, I'm not one of those people that go, oh, your audio is this or that. Don't come here with none of that jazz. But if you can't hear me, let me know there, okay? How's my audio sound right now, though? Do I need to adjust anything?
No, sir. You sound really good. No hum or anything like that. Crystal clear. Excellent.
Okay, well, Mr. Allen, don't go away. What I want you to do What I want you to do is get up and walk around the ham shack there. I think you might have missed a couple of things. The topic is ham shack hoarders. I remember you told me you had an antenna that you hadn't even broke the plastic off the wrap, and that thing was probably older than all your kids there. So we're going to come back around for you to go look around your room there, and then you can come back and tell us what the rest of the stuff you got there. Okay, let's. I clicked on the wrong button here. All right. We're gonna drop off with you now, and we're gonna be picking up with let's see who else we got here. Look at my times here. Kilo Echo 9 Bravo Hotel Romeo. Come on in, your name, rank, and serial number there, and tell us about if you're a ham hoarder. Come on in.
Well, my name is Neil, and I don't consider myself a ham hoarder, but I've been through a lot of rigs. I currently have a 6100 Zygo. Actually, out of 11 is still fixed, and I have a handheld
Echo 9, Bravo Hotel Romeo, Mr. Neil. We're going to keep in close contact. I've been having some anxiety attacks and panic attacks there every Monday and Thursday. I'm going through the CW Ops course there. So I'm going to get a hold of you after the fact, if you don't mind. Let me see if you have your stuff on QRZ so I can try to get a hold of you there. Because I want somebody to practice with, like very slowly practice and got some patience and stuff. Because we've already had about 4 people drop from the class and another one last night. They just ran for the hills. So it's pretty tough. I was usually on the radio every day doing something, this, that, and the third. I started taking that particular course now, and I'm glued to the thing trying to learn how to listen. I picked up the sending part fairly quickly, numbers and letters. It's just I don't have to worry about that. I need to worry about copying stuff. So let's keep in touch. Kilo Echo 9, Bravo Hotel Romeo. Okay, we'll break with you now, and we'll pick it up with Kilo Bravo 6, Juliet Foxtrot Lima. Come on in.
Yeah, good evening, Ernest and Annette, KZ6JFL out here in Bakersfield, California, and boy, I don't know, I should have come to this one. 40. Interesting. I think I have enough stuff around here that I'm not using. I have my own date and time. I've got 2 Ascon power slides, the big heavy ones I never use that more because I got these switching power supplies. I've got about 4 or 5 handhelds, and I even one that I don't even use. In the other room,
Ouch.
I don't even want to talk about it. Yeah, you can say there's a hoarding problem. One of these days you got to do something. Anyway, other than that, helped a guy this week. He ordered a radiality. I mean, not a radiality. I wouldn't dare do that. He ordered a Resident Strativus RT3DS, and I loaded the firmware on it. BD77 points for 3 satellites because he couldn't do some of the satellites with what he had there. So because of reversed action there. So anyway, other than that, nice warm day here today, and I'm going to get up to 90 there next week. Anyway, big day.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Hey, I think I should give it another name because I don't know what I always try to have some topic and something new, and I never hear people talking about. I hear they say they have a lot of stuff. We unfortunately have had 4 silent keys in probably like the last 5 months there, and some people are still alive and well, and they're like, "Hey, do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want this?" I haven't used it. And when you look at today's time with a lot of things digital and this and that, and no more tubes and things and such, it will be kind of hard to give stuff away to some of the younger people. Not a lot of people. Well, I can't talk for anybody. I'm just going to talk for myself. In the ham shack, which is I just call it a ham shack, but it has one 60-inch TV, 4 monitors, a laptop, a PC, a lot of other tablets. I'm just spinning around on my desk here. It has a bench, but the bench is absolutely clean. It has some books for show. Those are props. There are some boxes there because nobody ever gets rid of their boxes. So I have a FT65, which I do use for fox hunting. I do use that. I have the veil fang, what I use all the time because I keep leaving stuff. So if I leave something, I won't leave the veil fang and not something else. Then I have my Wuxen radio as a backup just in case. Now a Uniden VHF radio. So yeah, not a lot of stuff in the shack there. But I was given some stuff, some old artifacts, and I just smiled and said thank you and stuff like that. Now I need to go give it to somewhere else. So I guess let me pause. See, that's what happens when you connect the repeaters. You have a timer there. So what I was saying is there are some things that I took off folks' hands just to like take it off their hands. Now I got to get rid of. So I guess I should have. I guess I should say, what are some things that you're not using that is just hard to get rid of? So I'm not going to say anybody's hoarding. I'm going to say, what do you don't want to get of that you know you're not going to use? That's going to be that. Okay, thank you, Robert, for participating there. Let's see who else we got in the mix here. We've already talked to, well, we tried to reach out to Oscar. Let's see if he's there back. Oscar, KG5, Golf India, you there? KG5, Foxtrot India, sorry, are you there? Okay, we're going to keep it rolling then. We're going to pick it up now with VA Victor Alpha 3, Juliet India Charlie. Victor Alpha 3, Juliet India Charlie. Come on in.
Good evening, Ernest. Good evening, everybody on the net. This is Victor Alpha 3, Julie India Charlie. I've been in Ham since 2021, and I live in Southern Ontario, Guelph, Ontario. A hoarder. I don't want to say I'm a hoarder. I want to say I'm a collector. And a collector, I don't want to get rid of nothing. And I can honestly say I got to go tomorrow to get an FK's stuff out of his house, and I have no idea where I'm putting it. So I guess the question is, I guess I may be a hoarder after tomorrow. Thanks, Ernest, for picking me up. I do appreciate that. And back to you, this one,
Yeah, thank you so much. Like I said, I think I'm going to change the name of that because, you know, if you are a ham radio enthusiast, I don't think there's anything called hoarding, right? But, you know, I look at some of the, when I was a newcomer, I'm still a little new, but not like, you know, fresh car smell new. But I remember going to some of the ham folks' houses, and I'm like, oh, do you use that? And one guy would turn on the radio, and the thing wouldn't even hold a charge. That's how long it had been sitting there. But yeah, you know, sometimes we might have to clear off the shelf and bring some new stuff in, maybe. You know, sell some stuff. So the reason I don't have a lot of stuff, I'll tell you, I wanted a ham radio, so I had to sell all my other equipment. I wanted an antenna, so I had to sell my other antenna. So I was 11-meter guy, just so you guys know. And when I wanted to get my UHF VHF antenna, I actually had to sell my beloved Antron 99. Hate that I had to get rid of that antenna, but I did. But I bought me a UHF VHF antenna. Also, the radio I'm talking on now, the Anytone D578UV Plus. Funny story, not a funny story, but a solid key there, Renee, who sold me the radio 2 years ago. He says to me, hey, look, this radio is $400 something with tax. I guarantee you this radio is going to be super more expensive than that. And you know, when you have a salesman, you think they're just trying to sell you something. So I go to the Amazon website, and the doggone radio is like $1,100. I go and look at some of the other sites, and the radio's $700-800. So that's, he was right. This radio has almost doubled in its price. So for all the stuff that you're holding out there on, is it doubling in price, or are you going to have to pay somebody to take it? I guess that's the question. Okay, let me pause for a second. Okay, we're back here. Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor. For those that are just joining, this is the AllStar EchoLink Friday Evening Net. We meet at 8 o'clock every Friday. Laura says it's the same. We have a net. It's 3 rounds. Round 1 is usually a topic. Round 2 is just what are you doing for the weekend? And here in Ontario, we have a long weekend coming up. Monday is a holiday here. And the last thing, if you've heard a conversation or something that someone else has said that has piqued your interest, a lot of times when you go, you have their call sign, you find out that you can't get a hold of them on QRZ, or you can't reach them because they have no email. So this is your time to say hello to thy neighbor, maybe reach out to each other if you hear something cool. All right, let's see what we got. Kilo Golf 5 Golf India. I think he came in and came back. Yeah, so he's there. NX3F, Mr. Allen out of Temple. Kilo Echo 9, Bravo Hotel Romeo. We heard from Neil out of Whitestown. We heard from Mr. Robert there. My satellite guy, KB6JFL, out of Bakersfield. And then VA3JIC, Mr. Jim or James there. All right. I see that KG5FI has come back. But before we go to you, is there anybody on the VE3PGC repeater out of Cornwall, Ontario, wishing to check in? Please come now. One more time for anyone in. Oh,
Okay, Ernest, this is KG5FI. Can you hear me now? And this is Kilo Golf 5 Foxtrot India Jack. Can you hear me now?
we can. Okay, there you go. There you go. Yes, I was just wanting you to know you had to unkey. Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear. KG5FI. We got you loud and clear there, Jack. How are you doing today?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to work this whole system. I'm sorry. I apologize. This is KG5FI Jack. I live down in Texas, and I hate to disappoint you. I don't have extra stuff, so to speak. I do have a lot of codecs that I have not used and may use in the future, but that's the only thing, and I'm being very honest about that. I think I became a ham in 1982, but I laid off for 40 years, raising the kids and so forth and other things. And my first radio was a VA3EWV-L, and when I got back into ham radio about a year and a half ago, I had that rig, and that's what I used. But then I found out with all this digital stuff, I might need to upgrade my radios. So I ended up going to a ham fest and selling my VA3EWV-L. And I honestly don't have anything else laying around other than I do have a lot of coax, because when I used to live, when I first started, I had a small tower and needed some lengthy coax. And I'm sorry about, I've heard everything. I was having trouble figuring out on this tablet how I transmit, and obviously I wasn't. And I guess I accidentally figured it out. So here I am, and I don't know if y'all remember, but last week I said Mother's Day I was going to go out. My wife suggested we go out and do POTA. She's not an operator, but we made a picnic out of it. Our little dog loved it. My wife was absolutely fine with it, so it was a nice Mother's Day outing. So back to the net, and then if I don't get back into transmit, it's me having problems.
KG5FI in the group, Victor Alpha 3, Echo Whiskey Victor returning. I am just tickle pink to hear that it went really good with the outing and stuff on Mother's Day, and that the dog liked it and that. Yeah, it gets you out of the house. That's awesome. Yeah, I just was trying to think, when you run a net, especially a net like this, some nets are just welfare nets. People come in and just say no traffic, no traffic, no traffic. You're just seeing if they're living or not, right? Some are weather nets. There's a weather net that I listen to in the morning, and they just say what their temperature is and stuff like that. And then there is a net that I used to listen to in a place called Covey Hill there, and I'm just following that guy. He had he had a topic, which made the nets go good, and you get to hear some things. So that's pretty good. So hey, look, the reason I have this net. Let me pause right quick, and I'll be back to tell you that everybody the reason I do this net. 1 second. Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor returning. So my first radio, and I tell people this all the time, was my iPhone 6 Plus. So coming in, not a lot of money, don't know what to get. And a wise person said to me, because a lot of us have that same story. If you look at my QRZ page, Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor, you go there. We all have a lot of similar stories, you know. We were in radio whatever type, whatever flavor we had, we were in radio. We all seem to have dropped off 20, 30, 40 years, right? Then we come back and get into it. That was my story as well. And a person said to me, before you go buy something, see what you like because there's a whole new world out there. So if you're in a club, see if you can borrow some radios. See if you can go to some of your ham's houses and check out the stuff they have. See what you want to do in ham radio because it's such a vast hobby, right? It's like endless the number of things you could do, and I haven't even touched on like a fraction of them. But I took that advice and I watched and watched and watched and watched. And I'm like, digital. I was out there slaving today, 5 hours, working HF, trying to do a 5-park road with 50 contacts each, and it did not happen because of the conditions. And I had 3 different antennas, working different bands and stuff like that. It just wasn't there. But it's so nice to get home and just, get on the good old digital mode there. Just reach out and touch someone. I forget how, I forget whatever commercial that was, right? But it's just so nice to get out there and talk to people. And with this, you could do it on web browser, any web browser. You don't even need to install software, by the way. Let me pause one more time. So you can get to EchoLink by any web browser, different mobile devices, tablets. I've even seen radios that look like radios, and it has EchoLink as an app on the radio. So it's got a microphone. You connect it in your car. It looks just like a CB or ham radio. And you can talk on EchoLink. So they really made a lot of effort. And I'm talking on the regular radio now through a repeater, right, on EchoLink. So I'm here to get more people on EchoLink and let them know that there are more options. So I'm not saying it's real radio. I'm saying it's an accessory. Like I live in Canada, so it's like heated seats, heated steering, the little gauge that tells you that you don't have windshield washer fluid. So it's a good add-on. So yeah. So hey, look, if you need any help out there ever trying to get your EchoLink working, just give me a call. Right, go to QRZ. My information's there. All right, that's my news bite there. I think we made it down to the bottom of the list. Let me just see. I think we made it to the bottom of the list. So let's go back to the VE3PGC repeater, see if anyone's there. If not, we'll pick it up with Mr. Allen because I gave him a task to go look around. I was just messing with you, by the way. You know that. Anybody on the VE3PGC repeater wishing to check in? This is Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor. Okay, nothing heard. Let's pick it up at the top with Mr. Allen. So we're at the second part of the net there. You have any big plans, radio or non-radio wise, for the weekend there? And do you guys have a long weekend where you're at? Back over to you, Mr. Allen.
Yeah, okay, all right. VA3EWV-L. Our long weekend is coming. When is it? Next weekend? Yeah, I think it's next weekend. It's coming up, not this weekend. Yeah. Hey, when you were talking about those box antennas, I was saying, what in the world are you talking about? You got me. But then it dawned on me. Yeah, I do have 2 beacons
NX3F in the group. Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor returning. So hey, look, it's not me, right? And I don't like to there's a lot of good lessons you can pick up from people, right? And one of the lessons that I was given on HF was, hey, if you're out there trying to do activations, you need to. There was a lot of there's a really good person out there. I got to give him a shout out, Victor Echo 9 Charlie Foxtrot there, and he says to me, you know, you need to know your band plans for the U.S. That's number one. I said, why? He said, well, most of the people are like, I think it's general. I think that's what it's called. You know, then they have all these different ones. So if you want to go where the party's at, you need to go where they are. If you want a little peace and quiet, since you have an advance, which is just like an extra, you can move on down the band there or up the band or whatever. And you can have a little peace and quiet there and do that. So that was one of the things he said, you know your band plan. Next thing he told me was don't be just knob twiddling. Sit in the spot and keep calling out. And if you keep calling, it'll come. And let me tell you, I did everything in the world and I stayed in one spot. I did change bands once just to see. I did check I used WRL, that logger there. And QRZ has it too, but they have the band playing there. So I knew before I left home that some of those bands were just terrible, right? Because it has the thing right, the band conditions right in the thing. So it said like 17, which is one I like to use daytime. It says fair, 12 and 10 were poor, and 20 and 30 were good, right? So yeah, it was brutal, man. So it's just not me, right? Is it everybody having that, or is it just me? Over to you, Mr. Allen, for the last comment there.
No, I think you're on to something there, right? You're on to something there. Yeah, you're definitely on to something. I definitely agree with you on that. Since you've been talking about this Hoarders thing here, I've been participating in that lately as far as working the folks, not going out with the radio, but working the folks. And I actually get an enjoyment out of it, and it also gives me an opportunity to check my to see how my single is getting out there. So it's a good thing. I know there's a lot of hams that don't like them, and I know there's a lot of hams that are cuss and fuss about those folks who are on the air. But I think it's a fantastic community. So my hats off to you, and it's fun to work y'all when y'all do the Hoarder thing. I'll back you.
Well, I tell you, thanks for that too. By the way, thanks for the flowers there. Hey, but if there's nobody hunting, there is no parks on the air, right? So today I was doing worldwide flora fauna, which was the same as parks on the air, by the way. I think parks on the air, kicked off from worldwide flora fauna, if I heard my story straight there. But you know what, though, Mr. Allen, you got your people that are out there having fun on the radio. That's me. You can tell from the moment you met me, I'm doing this, that, and the third, right? Because I've heard, I saw in a group one day, I just went to one of those Facebook groups, and the guy's like, I don't want to get on the radio today because they're doing it's a contest. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, whatever. And I just, I didn't think anything about it because me, I'm still full steam ahead. A couple of weeks later, I kid you not, there's a guy that said, I don't want to go on the web, because not the web, the the radio, because they have all these QSO parties. So I'm like, QSO party? And then I went and found out what the QSO party was. And as a POTA activator, I was trying to get that award for working all 50 states. Well, then I found out that almost every state has a QSO party. And I wound up getting my doggone 50 states worked, because 3 of the hardest ones, Nebraska was one of them. Hawaii was another one. And I forget the other one. They were so hard. But you wait for the QSO parties, and then I ran through it because everybody and their mom was trying to get to those places. One moment, let me refresh. Yeah, so thanks for being out there. We need hunters out there, and there are people that follow you. There's this Whiskey Zero, Charlie Golf Charlie. I love the way he says his handle too. And he's like, "Oh man, I'm so glad you're at a new park. That's a new park for me." And I think he has me on something because no matter where I'm at, he finds me. And I hear him. I love his accent and I love his call sign. Whiskey Zero, Charlie Golf Charlie. I'm like, yeah, come on in. But it's so much fun out there. And because I've been working Quebec stations in English or Quebec parks in English, they've been really enjoying it. Today I tried to do 5. I only walked away with about 3 in the possible, like I'm playing spades there, Mr. Allen. But it was a 3 in the possible. If you can check out my Facebook page, the dog jumps up there and he's like, "No, you're gonna have to." I'm getting a call from Ottawa, Ontario. I'll just let them come back. Anyway, thanks for being out there, Mr. Allen. Yeah, those antennas are in the thing. You got to get them out. Okay, let me see who was up next there. I think Neil was up next. Go ahead, Neil. Kilo Echo 9 Bravo Hotel Romeo. Hello?
Roger.
Yes?
I'm still back on hoarding.
Hey, Luke.
I'm not a hoarder, but I have a value
Yes.
6100 and
Luke, do you mind if I call you right back? I'm doing a net right now. It's my Friday night net. But I'll get you. No problem. I'll call you back.
It's kind of a crazy deal. It's got an internal battery, and this got a charging circuit. So you're supposed to be able to disconnect that powers up. Well, it doesn't, at least on mine. And I couldn't get the battery to charge through the charger. So I was kind of hosed up. I didn't know exactly what was going on. I bought another battery, and lo and behold, it worked for about a month. And then I guess it just wasn't charging that thing. But anyway, that's the way that goes. Yeah, you mentioned you're a CW fan. I love the word CW. I have some health issues, got a pacemaker, and I have made the decision that I had to do QRP if I was going to do ham stuff, and so much as long as I do. And I love the radio. It's really a kind radio, and it's got a lot of bells and whistles. And I'm currently talking to you on my iPad, and this is really the first QSO I've actually the second. I have one in Australia, but never quite figured out how to use EchoLink. Kind of a strange animal to me. So anyway, I don't know if anybody wants to talk about 6100. I love the area. Taking DHR Neil.
KE9BHR. What's the model of that radio again, so I can jot it down? Could you give me it's a Zygu what?
X is an X-ray 6100 6100.
Roger. Okay. Hey, do you by any chance have like Facebook or anything like that over? Okay, no problem. I'm looking at that. Oh wow, that's nice. This looks like a little square there. This is not what I thought it was. I was thinking about some other radio I saw another friend with. This one looks nice. It's square, big screen on it. Or rectangular looking. It looks pretty fancy. It doesn't, and it looks a lot lighter than my 991 Alpha. That's for sure. That thing's like a brick. But yeah, I know they have all these groups and stuff like that. And if you're looking for someone to help you, I know that there are lots of people just like myself that love to help people and walk them through it, and they have patience. I've been a computer support technician and IT manager for over 25 years, so I have all types of patience. So yeah, I don't know anything about that radio there, but I'll definitely see if we can get somebody to help you out there. Also, thanks for being out there tonight and having some fun with us. Okay, I'll break off with you there, Mr. Neil there, and pick up with Robert, KB6JFL. Anything going on with you this weekend, over?
Yeah, about 30 seconds before you get back to the radio. Finally got a ship, so been missing a lot of satellite contact, so I think I will do that. As far as main conditions, out here on the West Coast, let me break this. Out here on the West Coast, it's been, I would say, about 85 to 80% bad for about a month and a half now. We're always the last to recover after a storm, and of course with the solar flux way down to 116, your 10 meter band, your 12 meter band is gone, so there goes your afternoon sun of Asia, and so it hasn't been really good, especially FT8 has been like, forget it, here on the West Coast. But you know, when FT8 is bad, you know you got a problem. Anyway,
Right.
Other than that, so many things I'm doing here, it's hard to keep up with. So anyway,
KB6 JFL and the group Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor returning. I just picked it up from some guy saying it like that. So anyway, hey, look, like you were saying, well, good. Well, let me start from the top. Thank you for the helping hams thing. Always good to see hams helping hams, getting folks up and running and stuff like that. Always warms my heart. I even have a little article in our club newsletter there. I'm trying to post stuff like that, hams helping each other. So thanks for doing that. Yeah, when you were saying when FTA is bad, you know it's got to be bad, man. I've been trying to do roves, and a rove is like you go to multiple parks on the same day. Now, what I don't like to do is what I've heard people call it hit and runs, because with parks on the air, you need 10 contacts to activate. So I got a couple of chaps that love to go to different places, and what they do, they go to the park, they get their 10 contacts, but they stay and enjoy the park, and that's what it's all about, right? Going out there, seeing things, and learning the history of the place and all that stuff. That's the fun part and stuff like that. But they'll do 10, 12, 15, you know. You see them having the picnics and got their friends and stuff, with their family and stuff with them. And with me, though, I do worldwide flora fauna, and you need 44 active, 44 QSOs. So I try to give myself a goal of 50. Anyway, with all that being said, I read over the last month, because when I started doing this, oh my God, I could be out for an hour and have 150 contacts. Let me pause. Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor returning. Yeah, I have lots of videos. There's quite a few videos of me having 45 minutes on a lunch break and walking out of there with 80, 90 contacts. Anywho, I see people that have not been getting to activate, and I even saw some stuff on the Parks on the Air pages. And people are like, "Hey, help me out!" You know, like they're like, "I want to activate this park. I've been out here forever." And all I gotta say to that is, don't limit yourself, right? I know some people have the hate on for the digital modes like EchoLink, AllStar, the FT8, and all this, that, and the third. But you know what? I drove to Quebec today. That's gas, folks. That's gas. And it was also time. So I don't want to go spend gas and time sitting on all this technology and then post on the website, oh, I can only get 8 contacts today, right? So I break out the FT8 all the time. And I mean, when I did the 10 Park Rove last week, I wasn't successful getting 10 parks, but I walked away with 6. And 3 of those, I'm proud of myself. I mean, I got 12. One was 10, one was 11, and one was 12 because I thought I had a double and I didn't want to have to lose anything. But I was proud of those 10 contacts. And if it wasn't for FT8, I'd have still been happy. But, you know, like I'm going to use it. Okay, thank you, Mr. Robert there. Let's pick it up with James. Victor Alpha 3, Juliet, India, Charlie. What are you up to for the weekend there, over?
Well, Ernest, thanks again for picking me up again. This is Victor Alpha 3, Juliet, Charlie. What am I up to this weekend? I'm going to Silent Key, Southern house this weekend to remove all his equipment and try to sell it for his family. So that's what I'm up to this weekend. And if anybody's looking for any Cisco phones, I will have a bunch of them coming out of the Silent Keys house. We'd be glad to have you on that network. Absolutely, Ernest, I agree with what you said. Some people don't like this digital stuff, and some people don't like that Cisco phone stuff, but it absolutely works. And, like everybody else, I would be more than willing to help anybody hook up their phones. It has to be. That's my honor to do that. So back to you, Ernest. This is Victor Alpha 3 to the future.
Let me go ahead and check my mail again while we're talking about it. I am the proud owner of a Cisco SPA 509 Golf. Yes, indeed, folks. Yes, indeed. I'm going to try everything before I croak there. That's for sure. Okay. Here we go from Debbie. Thank you, Ernest. Based on your image provided, the MAC address has been changed from blank to blank. Apart from that, we have what we need, and your ticket has been moved to the extension creation queue. So I'll be on ham hotline there before you know it. I'm already on something. Let me see what it is. Hams over IP, folks. So I'm going to be doing a unboxing. You guys are in on the joke there. I'm going to pack my phone back up. I'm telling you. I'm just not going to take the box. And I'm going to be like, oh, look what I got in the mail. And then I'm going to open the phone and say, oh, look at this. And I'm going to say all about the phone. And then I'm going to plug it in right there on the camera. And I'm just going to start using it to make folks think that it's a plug and play. So be on the lookout for that video coming up to a screen near you. Oh, yes, indeed. My number on ham something another. I think it may be well, let me learn a little bit more about that. Oh, and I missed a call. That's kind of cool. So yeah, I'm going to be once I get this all sorted out, I'll be doing some videos of that, and I'm going to try to get my phone connected to my AllStar or my DMR thing there, and see if I can get all that connected. So the next time I'm doing my net, I'll try to have AllStar, EchoLink, and ham over IP, all that stuff. Let me go back to my friend there that just got off the line with us there. We'll go back over to you, VA3JIC. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? I might have locked up the repeater. Back over to you.
Yes, Ernest, I did hear that, and that's absolutely wonderful. Ham Shack Hotline had their tickets down for the weekend, so I didn't think you were going to get it this weekend, but if Debbie is in the process to submit, you should have it by about 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, if you want, I can help you, Ernest, first thing in the morning before I go to the SA's house. Or we can do it tomorrow afternoon when I get back. I'll give you a shout. And the next one you were waiting for, let me take a break here for a second, will be amateur wire. That will be your next one. And you'll be all set to go to town there, my friend. And again, welcome to come on Hams Over IP. And if anybody's interested, please get back to me. My call sign at gmail.com. I'll be glad to help you. Back to you, Ernest.
No problem. And look, don't forget to post your net and the time and stuff like that on the Facebook page there. Make sure we know when that's going around and things like that. If you know how to do the event, put it as a reoccurring event. Also, just go to the site and post, like after you get the phones and stuff, make a post there and tell people how to that they can contact you there, and y'all can talk about all the other stuff off what do you call it, on Messenger there, eh? So let's get some people involved in that. Like I said, the thing I like about this, I was out there beating myself to death for 5 hours with not even over 100 QSOs, you know. And I come in here and run my mouth all night long. I just got to stop. I just got to get worry about not have to worry more about locking up the repeaters than anything else. Hey, look, we're almost to the end. We're not quite to the end, but we've heard from everybody today. We just got to do check-in there. Kilo Delta 9, Tango Golf Kilo. Kilo Delta 9, Tango Golf Kilo. Good evening to you there. This is Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor. Ernest is the name. We're doing our Friday evening AllStar EchoLink Net. We're glad to have you. We just had 2 rounds of traffic there. The topic of tonight was, are there things that you have that you just don't want to get rid of, but you don't use? And what are you doing for the weekend? Bring it on in, Kilo Delta 9, Tango Golf Kilo.
Hey, Ernest. This is Kilo Delta 9. Thank you, Golf Kilo. As always, it is a pleasure to check into your net. It's always fun. Things that I have that I just can't get rid of, that I don't use, I've got to be honest. I pretty much try to put my hands on everything else. My antenna tuner. That's one thing I don't use that much. I try to use resident antennas, so I don't get to use my antenna tuner that much. As far as what I'm doing for the weekend, that's actually what made me check in. I seen that you were alive, and I wanted to check in with you. I just drove through a gang of tornadoes, like a lot of tornadoes, and I'm on my way, headed from Chicago to Mississippi. I'm en route right now. I'm about halfway down the road, and I think I can pass about to say easy, buddy.
Roger. And like they say, oh, you're halfway there. Going through those tornadoes, living on a prayer. Let me stop that, folks, before this man wrecked his car. He's driving. Listen to me try to rhyme. That's not going to happen. Hey, look, safe travels. Safe travels out there, Cleveland. I did a lot of work in Mississippi and stuff like that when I was with Domino's Pizza. I got to live in Cleveland, Clarksdale, Indianola, Greenville, Greenwood, and Gulfport with my 12 years at Domino's Pizza there. Over.
Yeah, every one of those cities you named, I'm very familiar with. My folks is from down there, deep down in the Natchez, down in the Bayou. I'm first generation born in the north. I love being down in Mississippi. It's actually one of the reasons why I live here now. And because of all of the things I learned in Mississippi, this is amazing. But before I forget, Ernest, you actually have a second check-in, and they're coming right now.
Hey there, Ernest. It's Kilo Echo 9, Charlie Kilo Alpha. My name's Sarah. Nice to meet you.
That was Kilo Echo 9. I was smiling so much I couldn't keep my eyes open enough to see my screen. Kilo Echo 9 again.
Kilo Echo 9, Charlie Kilo Alpha. Nice to meet you.
That's what I'm talking about, Tara. Okay, nice to meet you too. Got us a twofer. Got us a twofer on there. See, I have too much fun with this. Hey, anyway, look, y'all travel safely. And Tara, don't be a stranger. You know, you can get anything you talk to on EchoLink, a phone, a napkin, you know, anything, paper towel, right? So get on there and we want to hear back from you. All right, so we have had our last round. So tonight we have heard from quite a few people. Let's give the rundown. Mr. Jack, Kilo Golf 5, Foxtrot India. We talked to Mr. Allen, NX3F. We talked to Mr. Neil, Kilo Echo 9, Bravo Hotel Romeo. Mr. Robert there, Kilo Bravo 6, Juliet Foxtrot Lima. James, Victor Alpha 3, Juliet India Charlie, Cleveland, KD9 TGK, and Tara with her inaugural visit, KE9 Charlie Kilo Alpha. Now, for those of you, I took a little bit of notes. We got James out there with the voice over IP phone. So if anybody wants to get into that, reach out to him. 1 second. If anybody interested in any satellite things of that nature, get a hold of Mr. Robert, KB6JFL. We do. I think it's either Neil or I think it might be Neil there that has a Zygu radio there. Let me see if I wrote the notes there. A Zygu X6100. Looking for a little bit of help with that. So if anybody knows anything about that, make sure that the call is right. If I'm the right person, Kilo Echo 9 Bravo Hotel Romeo. And yeah, that's about it. And if you just want somebody to talk to, you can talk to me, Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor. All right. Any final comments from anybody? We'll take those. And before we do, anyone on VE3PGC repeater wish to check in, please come now. Okay, nothing heard. Nothing heard, folks. The mic is open mic. So if anybody wants to say hello to anyone or do some traffic, the mic is yours. Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor, standing by.
That was Kilo Golf 5 Foxtrot India. I wanted to let you know that our ham club meets the second Tuesday of every month, and I presented the program on POTA to our club, and only one other gentleman there is active on POTA, and it was well received, and I tried to make it very simple, and had about an hour's worth of questions, so it worked out well. And this weekend, I'm going to be going out and doing POTA, but we have some bad weather coming in, and I have grass to cut at our house and at a neighbor's house who's not living there anymore. They're trying to sell it. So I'm going to be busy, hopefully avoiding weather and grass cutting and doing some POTA. Enjoyed it, and I finally figured out how to work this to be able to transmit to you. So y'all have a great week and weekend. KG5FI.
Thank you so much, KG5FI. Tell the XYO we said hello to, and the little doggy. My dog's name is Sir Joseph Biden. So we named him after Joe Biden, but not because of that. We just thought it was kind of cool to go Joe Biden. So it's Biten, not Biden. And look, have some fun out there. I did my grass yesterday. Didn't want to, but I did it, and the skeeters were bad. Let me tell you, I'm so eaten up. It's a shame. They gained about 10 pounds out there. It was a buffet for them. Thanks for being out there, and we'll try to catch you around next weekend there. All right. Any other folks just want to have a last message? Come on in.
Was that station was it KG5FI? Was that the gentleman that had the originally had the J2FT757 back in the day? Go ahead.
Yes, sir. This is KG5FI. I had the Yaesu 757 GX, I think, was the model that I had.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was a nice radio. I had one of those way back when they first came out. That was a beautiful radio. I had some problems with it at the end, and I got it fixed, and then we sold it. But that was some radio. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I agree. And when I got back into ham radio here a year and a half ago, I used it. Everything worked fine after all those years, except the memory. But people told me that there's a battery inside that had expired after all that time, and I didn't use the memory anyway. So it was still working fine when I sold it, except for the memory. But I told him think about that. Excellent radio, and I worked mostly CW back when I started, but all this new digital I got involved with. But back to the net, KG5FI.
That's fantastic. Just a quick thing. What did you replace it with? I missed that. If you just said I didn't catch that. What did you replace it with? Go ahead, Brick.
KG5FI. Yes, sir. I ended up getting the EHV710,
We're live streaming.
but I also have a couple of QRP rigs, and I have not taken the 710 out for POTA. I've used the little QRP rigs. One is the Jaegu G90. It's 20 watts max, but for digitally one only 10 watts. But then I have a little QMX radio that's only 5 watts, and I actually do quite well with that, with both of them. I'll take both out on POTA, and I do half and half my contacts, because I believe it's the antenna that gets you through. And I'm not bragging, it's just the way that propagation apparently works. I went out Wednesday, and gosh, I got California, all the Northwest. I live in Texas. All the Northwest part of the country and the Northeast part of the country. The propagation for me has been very good with all this sunspot activity that's been going on. Back to the net, KG5FI.
That's excellent. That's really excellent. Very good. Okay. All right, back to you, Ernest. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to get in there and hog up the frequency. This is NX3F.
NX3F in the group. Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor returning. No, I'm sitting here with chill bumps. I just love that we have that opportunity on this net. So no, you're not hogging up nothing. That's what I was wanting to happen. So good to get that back and forth. And the gentleman, I just have lots of numbers in front of me, not names. I'll learn them in due time. I know Mr. Allen because he's been here almost every net. So what I was going to say, I work a lot of QRP stations and a lot of stations out of Texas. So I must have like I forget what they call it, but certain times of the day, I'm only hearing myself. And then when that clock strikes a certain time, I hear Florida coming in. And I hear Florida, Florida, Florida. Not a lot of Louisiana, then I get Texas, right? And then I get a lot of Texas. It's like as the sun's moving or the sun's setting, it's like clockwork. I hear those kilo golfs, and then it changes. It just changes. And I pick up more mobile stations than the law allows doing QRP, and they're like, QRP, banging the door down, QRP. And I'm like, you're what? How many watts? So I'm nosy. That's why I have these nets. So I'll send them a little EQSL card, not anything paper, right? Because I'm all digital. And I'm like, hey, you worked me on 5 watts. What radio you're working? And it's either Zygu or whatever. And I think he's right. It's all about the antennas and stuff. But those guys got it going on. I got to give it a try. You know, I'm too scared. I'm out there trying to activate, right? And you know, let me pause 1 second.
Good evening. The time is 9 p.m.
I know it's probably somebody's bedtime out there, but hey, look, what I was going to say was I had my radio, you know, I don't run FT8 over 40 watts there. And I remember going to sideband there and trying to work, and I'm calling. And, you know, I'm like, wow, what's going on? You know, checking the radio, calling. Nobody's hearing me. And then I crank up the volume there to the 100. And I know what people say, there's no difference between 100 and 5. There must be something, because I can tell you, when I crank it up all the way, I start getting contacts, right? And then I'm able to get there and do it. So if I was out there hunting, I'll probably run QRP and stuff like that. But activating, I don't know. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna task myself to do that. Okay. Any other comments from anybody to anyone? Please come on in.
Again, thanks so much, Ernest. I just want to let everybody know my net this Saturday is not running. Myself and the gentleman who does it, we're obviously preoccupied this weekend as I'm doing it at an SK removal from a gentleman this weekend, and the guy who helps me has to be at the hospital this weekend. So we will start our net back next Saturday. And absolutely, Ernest, I will put it on your Facebook if you don't mind, sir. I would appreciate that. And with that, Ernest, back to you, Victor. Please do get you started.
Well, there we have it. You heard it there, folks. Okay, any other check-ins? We are at the top of the hour. We'll take any finals, and then we'll close off the net. I wanted to let everybody know that we have watching Dale, Whiskey 5 Delta Sierra Lima. Hello, Dale. Good to have you. We got you in the log. We also have Mark watching. He is he came by my QTH on Monday. He's looking to get into ham radio. So I invited him around my shack that has no tools in it. Oh, Lord have mercy. I laugh at myself. Anyway. Hey, but yeah, we're toolless over here. We don't have soldering irons and stuff like this. If it's broke, we just go get another one. One day, I might go get one of those things. So Mark is saying thanks, everybody. Dale is saying hi. We already got Jim in here, and thanks everybody for watching on the YouTube there. I do have a YouTube channel, Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor. Just look on that. On the air with VA3EWV. Facebook, On the Air with VA3EWV. TikTok as well, and Instagram, but I don't do those too much, but I have it. Okay, any last check-ins? And then for those that are on YouTube, you guys can hear one of my ham radio songs on the way out. The folks on the radio can't. That's not allowed. Any final check-ins, please come on in.
Hey, Neil, Ernest, I just want to give you a heads up that you are sounding great tonight. I appreciate your being that control. You do an excellent job. And I'll pass it back to you.
I definitely appreciate the flowers and the support. Yeah, I went and watched a guy. He was our former president. When I first was wanting to get into radio there's a gentleman that came by my house. We were looking at doing some renovations. He happened to be a ham, invited me to a Christmas party there. Went to that. And then they said they're having their Monday night nets. And I went to VE3IMP's house. His name was Earl. And I sat there and watched him do the net. And I'm like, when I grow up, that's what I want to do. So I'm lucky to be doing helping with the Procom Net here in Canada. It's called the Procom Net every Thursday and Sunday. And when I was checking it on Sunday, the guy who runs it said, "Hey, Ernest, do you want to do it on Thursday?" I'm like, "You don't have to ask me twice. Shoot." So I'll be doing the Procom Net on Thursday. And I also help with the Trans-Canada Net. That's on Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time there. And it goes from coast to coast. I also do my own net there, and I will be probably getting a hold to our net manager, and that's to do a couple of nets before the end of this year for our own club there. So yeah, I love being a net manager. I love doing the nets. Thanks for being out there too. All right, any other comments before? I'm not trying to go, but any other comments before we get out of here? Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor.
Yeah, I got one last comment, Ernest. I just want to comment that you said that you run low power on FTA. I do the same thing too. As a matter of fact, I run most of the time 25 watts.
Mm-hmm.
And it's worked out really, really, really good for me. And just like the gentleman there, the KG5VI, I think that was what it's called. It's all in the antenna, definitely in the antenna. Just want to make that comment. That's free.
Amen on that. I had people tell me, because I do a lot of stuff on video, and thank goodness that people are so helpful too, because it's not even criticizing. People want you to keep your equipment going. They want you to be on the air. And one guy said to me, he goes, "Hey, you got that FT991. Just to let you know, if you keep running that circuit at 100 watts on FT8, FT4, since it's continuous something, You're going to be buying another one or getting it repaired. And I'm like, you don't have to tell me twice. So I cranked her on down there, right? Every now and then, when I'm looking to get one of the Japans or something like that, I'll kind of inch it up to 50, turn it up to 50 there. But I'll tell you this, I mistakenly had it on 100 watts and trying to work stations, and I looked over it and almost panicked because it had 100 watts. And it's just me, but I can tell you, every time I drop the wattage down from 100 to 40, next thing you know, I start getting all the contacts are just pouring in. It seems like if I'm up at the top, maybe it's like overdoing something. I don't know that much about it. But when I go low, I get high number of contacts. If the power's high, I'm not getting nothing. Back over to you, NX3.
Wow, that's interesting. Wow. That's a good one. That's a good one to think about. I don't know. I remember when I was a novice way back, I worked Alaska with what was 15 watts and the antenna. I took the antenna and I took the center shield of the coax and ran it into the tuner and ran the other side to a cold water pipe ground when I lived in an apartment. And I worked Alaska. And I was so thrilled about that one. I said, wow. I said, okay, this is cool.
Yep. One of my funniest contacts. I'll try to have to find a video, but there's 300 something videos. And I'll you know what, that'll be next week's topic, but I'll give you all a little insight. Next week is going to be what the funniest thing happened to you on while you were doing radio, So with me, I'll give you guys this little tidbit, and then we're going to close off the net. Those who are on YouTube, y'all can hear the latest Big E's song about ham radio coming up after this. But I'm sitting there activating, and finally get like an Alaska or something like that, one of those coveted things. And I'm like, oh my God, right? So the guy calls, and I hear him, but then his thing faded out, and I'm like, oh, you're in the weeds, and I got patience. I'm like, let me try you again. Well, I happened to look up because the way my radio was, my antenna was on the ground. Okay. So it had fallen on the ground. I have the M750 Poto Vertical there, and it had fallen. And when I went to review the video, I was telling the guy he had QSB. He sure did, because when the antenna was straight up in the air, so he can do his job. He was 5/9. I was still trying to hear a little bit of his call sign, but the antenna was flat on the ground there, and I was like, "Oh Jesus, let me cut that out the video." I left it in there though. All right, so yeah, next week if anybody's around, let's do what the funniest thing happened to you on the radio there. All right, one final call, and then we'll close it off. Victor Alpha 3, Echo Whiskey Victor. Okay, as they say, folks, silence is golden. Thank you for coming out. Again, our net is every Friday night at 8, 12 o'clock UTC. AllStar and EchoLink, so you can tune in any which way and come and join us. We'll have lots of fun there, and we'll see y'all next week. This is Victor Alpha 3, Echo Whiskey Victor, saying 7-3 to all, and have a great weekend. Okay, for those of you still on here, we're going to listen to Park to Park. Oh yeah, was it? Yeah. Rock the rock, I'll sing those bright. Cheek to cheek, we keep it live. Ham radio, got that vibe. Late shift early, we don't care. Got our sound waves everywhere. 5-9 in the park, so clear. Best regards to all who hear. This is a 2 for Whiskey 5 Delta Sierra Lima.
This is how we make our mark. Thanks for those activations now. From dusk till dawn we take a bow. Signal strong, we make it loud.
Ham radio, we stay proud.
This is a tool for making loud. Working round, we got it down. 73, we share the thrill. Ham radio, life's a chill.
On to the next part we go.
In the dark, we let it flow. Communications part to part. This is how we make our mark.
On to the next part we go. In the dark we let it flow. Communications part to part. This is how we make our mark.
Thanks for those activations now. From dusk till dawn we take a bow. Signal strong, we make it loud.
Ham radio, we stay proud. Okay, that's it, folks. All right, we're saying 73, and we'll see y'all next week on the air with VA3EWV AllStar EchoLink Edition. 7-3.